What about the levels?
What
Pew,
about
pew,
the levels?
Pew. I feel like I listened to the first episode. I felt like I was a lot louder than you were.
Well, that's intentional because I'm trying to pull off this myth where people think I'm a quiet guy, like a kind of soft-spoken, mild-mannered man.
That cannot be true.
No, I think I turned myself down more because I knew specifically that I
That you
have
can
a
get
problem
loud?
with being loud.
I
think that looks pretty even and normal.
For you, yes. Me, I am too red.
You're too red.
Too red. Hello. Hey. This is how I'm gonna speak naturally, so maybe a little bit lower. Hey,
Red,
this
white,
is me
and
natural
blue.
speaking, and then if I get really heated, then I will reach new levels.
But you could also hold the microphone a little bit away from you if
I
find that.
I feel like I've adjusted to put the microphone almost into my mouth.
Yeah.
Also, when I'm on stage.
That's
like,
actually what the audience wants.
Yeah?
They want you to just like fully just kind of
be
like,
immersed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
cold open.
You know, like the music is playing in the background, for example. Can you sing me something like da-da-da-da? Sing it. It's Pat and Louie, Louie and Pat. It's a podcast. Get it? Like there's a jingle and then we sing. Get it? Can you explain what les means?
It's like short for lesbian. So,
we need to say the name. Welcome to.
What we're about to do the thing. Now the theme song is playing, and it's like Pat and Louie. It's a podcast. And then you're like, what does the les stand for? And then like, lesbian. Welcome back.
to.
Oh. Welcome to.
Hey baby, I'm gay. Oh my God.
Wow. Say hi to your camera for a moment.
Hi camera. I missed you so much. I hope you're recording this time.
Hi, camera. I feel like Louie was being a bit rude to my camera and it hurt my feelings. Hi, main camera.
Hi, main camera.
Hello, audio listeners.
Hello. Oh my God. Are there any?
This might explode when you drink it.
That's danger.
But that's why I brought you the paper towel.
Oh my God. Amazing. That tastes amazing.
Yeah. So we started out the gates hot. Welcome back to Hey Baby, I'm Gay. We haven't seen each other
since the last episode.
And I'm so excited to chit chat.
I know there's so many things that happened. I'm so excited.
So many headlines and stories. So should we just get right into it, or did you want to like bitter banter?
Ask me about my hat.
Oh, right. Sorry. Louis asked me specifically, cut to a clip.
Do not ask me anything about my headwear until we're recording, please.
So what's the deal with your headwear?
Shut it, Shanice.
Not to ask about the hat until the cameras were rolling.
Where are you going to cut to? Did we record it? Was it recorded?
I'm always recording.
Oh, okay. Cut to a clip.
Bum, bum, bum. Sorry. let's try it. We'll take it again.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's so nice to see you. This is like, so I have to ask. I've been waiting to ask because I wanted the cameras to be rolling.
Right, of course.
But what's up with the hat?
Oh, my hat.
First of all, it's serving me winter wonderland, and I love it. But I am just curious. It's an interesting hat. It's a conversation piece.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing, first of all, without me pointing it out. So this hat was given to me by my good friend Bruno Mazzini.
Bruno Mazzini.
Yes,
he's a kind of like a average open micer here in Berlin.
He's my favorite boy. Other favorite boys will get really mad, but I do have multiple. I love boys.
Josh Slay are devastated right now.
I have multiple favorite boys. He's one of them, and he gave this hat to me for my birthday. And yesterday, I asked him if he has a spot for me in his show, and I said, I'll do it. I'll wear this hat. So I will do a spot today wearing this hat. And then he gave me a spot.
That's a very first. Well, we are getting a little bit inside baseball, Berlin open mic comedy. But that's good because that's probably 90% of our listeners. So first of all, interesting strategy to gain stage time. You know, the usage of a birthday gift as a kind of a carrot for the granted stage time. And second of all, I appreciate that you're kind of giving this hat its first trial run in a performance space here on the podcast. Yes. This is actually a Hey Baby, I'm Gay exclusive. We're very excited to present for the first time to the performance world a gift from the talented comedian Bruno Mazzini to the other talented comedian Louise Beccia. She's wearing it now. Louise, take it away.
One important thing that I forgot to mention, it's Peruvian. It's traditional Peruvian hat.
Much like Bruno.
And it also says ethnic and luxurious on it.
Okay, first of all, hold that up to the camera because I do think people want to know that you have not taken the tag off.
I am not going to take it to the store. I actually left it on so that I could show it to our dear listeners and
sell it
watchers.
On Vintage
Absolutely
later.
Not, never.
Okay,
no,
no, never. She would never.
And I love hats. You know me.
Yeah, you're a big hat gal. It's one of the things we connected over from the beginning. I would say, can I give my feedback, my honest? Do you mind if I give like a full?
No, please. It's welcome.
Okay. So here's my thing. You know me. You're kind of my style icon. Every outfit that you wear, I'm like, I would wear that. I love it. However, this hat, while I love it for you, it's the first thing you've ever worn that I'm like, I couldn't wear that. And the reason being not that it's not stylish and cool.
Is it because it's Peruvian?
Llamas, but it's because it's Peruvian and I'm racist. And I don't like the Peruvian people. I don't like their food, their culture, their politics, just really everything about them. No. The real reason is it's... You know me, I teeter on almost a parody of myself as like the adult stoner, guy. And I feel like if I were to wear that hat, it would tip me into no.
You should totally put it on right now.
Oh,
we need to see.
All right.
The people need to see, and I will not be sitting with my hair like this.
Wait, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, wait. Like this is gonna be the big reveal.
Should I turn?
I feel like you should. Yeah, like turn around.
Okay. Oh my god, this is so exciting. I feel like it's gonna look really good on you, actually, and you might want to steal it from me. Can I turn now?
Hey, what up, dude? We should smoke a doobie.
Oh God, I don't.
What time is it right now?
What am I feeling?
Dude, we missed 420. Dude, we missed 420.
Oh.
You like more of like a blunt scowl or like a joints or like you just hit the bong or what's your deal?
I quit weed. I don't smoke anymore.
You can't quit weed. You gotta let weed quit you.
I think that's what happened.
No, but you still do edibles.
No. Nothing.
Not even no edible.
Nothing.
But like a tincture or like
she's free from all of that.
But like CBD, like
no
CBD for sure.
Nothing.
You got it. No CBD.
Nothing.
But like, how do you relax or like chill or like watch Adam Sandler movies?
By sitting down.
That sounds not entertaining at all. Like, how are you gonna like laugh at Chuck and Larry if like you're not like high as a kite?
Enough.
No, this is who you wanted to do the podcast with, dude. And I'm just like, I'm first of all triggered that you would like give up on like the best plant medicine our species has ever discovered. And the fact that you don't want to like grind it up, roll it up, smoke it up with your boys right now is just like fucking whack. And honestly, I think I'm going to go play hacky sack now.
It looks so good on you though. It looks really good.
I Whoa!
What just happened? Where was I?
Whoa! I went into an alternate universe where I went to UC Santa Barbara. Anyways,
was that your life?
UC Santa Cruz, but
that's very different from what you mentioned before.
These references are really hitting with the people that get them.
Oh. But how are they going to learn if we're not going to talk about things?
They're just colleges in California.
This is educational.
UC Santa Cruz is like a very it's a good school, but it is known as kind of like the hippie druggo school, very intellectual druggo though, Like people are smoking weed, but they're growing it themselves in kind of a scientific botanist manner and making crazy shit out of it.
UCSB?
UC Santa Cruz.
Oh.
UCSC.
Okay.
UC Santa Barbara, that was the first pull for me. And that one's a little bit more surfy, a little more...
I think I dated someone who went there.
Really? And
briefly. Extremely.
What was his name?
It's they.
It's a they. Okay.
I will not say.
Okay.
To keep it a secret.
Well... I feel like we did the hat bit.
Hat bit's done.
We've done some. Go ahead, cross off
it
hat bits. Perfect. We talked a little bit about the California public college education system. Can you cross that off as well?
Okay, that's done.
Should we get into some headlines?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me yours first, or should I?
Okay, so you told me that you can suspect what mine would be. I kind of want to hear what you thought.
Well, I just want the viewers to know that I follow Lui online. You should too. Her Instagram handle is right up there at Louise Betcha.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, that's good.
Nailed it. And I follow her online, and you might remember from last week's episode that Louis was off to Amsterdam, and I went online, and there was an exciting, thrilling tale of some kind of airport drama, and I thought to myself, I was like, I bet
it's definitely,
if this isn't part of the headline, I'm going to be disappointed because I want to hear about how you would let this happen.
I do it. Yes, you are correct. You were correct. So I will just get into my headline then.
Yeah. Tell me the headline and let's hear this, and then we'll get into the story.
Okay. So the headline is.
Yeah. Don't forget to.
Okay. We need a teleprompter for these. Woman misses a flight due to a heated mouse chase. Airline does not care.
One more time.
Woman misses her flight due to a heated mouse chase. Airline does not care.
I mean, look, I thought that the story sounded interesting from Instagram, but this headline is, and I mean, look, and I'm not trying to insult you, but we all know Louis does have a history of clickbait headlines. So I just want all of us to lower our expectations a little bit because this headline sounds too good to be true, and I think it might be. So let's find out. Let's get into the story. So you missed your flight. Airline didn't care.
Airline did not
The
care.
cause was heated mouse chase.
It's exactly what it is. Okay, I know you saw on my stories that I missed my flight, but you don't know why. And I did not get into that because I saved it for this special episode. So yes, I was late to my flight, and I realized that when I got through security and it said gate closed, when it says that and you can see it, it means you're not on the flight, just for future.
Which I do. Can I just interject? Again, I don't want to keep harping on this fact, but if you don't follow Louis online, one of the funnier Instagram stories I've seen, just a photo of the display board and it just said gate closed and you had written fun fact, you can only read this if you've missed your flight.
Yeah. But
great storytelling.
Thank you, Pat. I will also say that was on Close Friends Stories, so it's like exclusive access. If you want access to my close friends,
I know what Close Friends Stories is because I also am like young and hip, and I like use the stuff. So like,
okay. So you can get to my close friends if you're a close friend, or you pay me €5. So the mouse shit. So I was the security took a while, right?
Okay, so can we just go back to the beginning? So you are.
I think we need to work backwards from it.
You kind of want to Christopher Nolan it. Start at the end.
We can start from the beginning. Okay, maybe it will make more sense that way.
Usually most storytellers tend to tell stories chronologically.
Well, I'm not like most girls.
So you are booked for a Pride show in Amsterdam. You've got some friends in Amsterdam. Fun.
Shout out to Mimi and Ollie. Put them up here.
Shout out to Mimi and Ollie.
You've met Mimi.
And Mimi and I met at Amsterdam's Pride Parade, which is via boat in the canal. Very fun.
This is so sick.
And we just happened to be at the same function, and she approached me and she's like, "Hey,
baby, I'm gay."
Exactly. That was basically verbatim, and it was beautiful. So you're going to this Pride show. You're gonna go visit Mimi and
Ollie.
That's
her dog.
That's her. Yep, I knew that. And so you've got a flight booked for
6 a.m. 7 a.m. Sorry, 7 a.m.
7 a.m. and that's a Friday morning.
That's Saturday morning.
7 a.m. Saturday morning, and which makes a lot of sense because now we are recording on a Saturday again. We only record on Saturdays. We're just a Saturday only podcast. So you got this flight 7 a.m. Saturday morning, and what?
Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, so Friday evening I do a gay show. Cause hey baby, I'm gay. Produced by Faye Walsh. Put it up here. It was an amazing show.
Pride Riot, I think.
Pride Riot. Oh my God, I had so much fun. It was so much fun. I turned off lights and the audience went crazy. It was amazing. It was Friday.
What?
I turned off the lights during my set because it was a spooky show. Because it was Friday, 13th. Yeah, it was. I killed.
Oh my God!
But it's so sad that it's like not my skills, but just like the electricity.
But it makes sense for a spooky show to like kill or murder, because that's
someone
kind
had
of
to do
spooky thing.
Yeah.
So
anyway, so that show ends. I go home. I pack really quick. I don't need to pack a lot because I'm just going for 24 hours. And I cuddle up in my bed and I'm falling asleep.
Well, what time is this?
This is like 1 a.m. now.
1 a.m. And what time is the alarm set for a 7 a.m. flight?
So I had my security time slot booked for 6, which might have been my first mistake, right? Because I use the you can book the security time slot, and I'll always use it, and it always takes me like 5 to 10 minutes to get through.
Perfect.
So I'm like, okay, like I've done this a bunch of times now because I travel, and it will work, right? So that's for 6. So the alarm is set for 4:45. I get up, I get a quick shower, and then I get to a car and I drive there. And
you drove yourself?
I drove myself.
Okay, so maybe stop bragging about the flying if you're still driving yourself like a peasant, but...
Okay,
So you drive yourself there. 6 a.m. is your security time slot, which is, if I'm being honest, and I am a nervous flyer, takeoff is at 7. But that means doors close at like 6:30, which means you're giving yourself a itty bitty tiny window to get to the gate. I mean, boarding probably started at 6:15, right? Am I right?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, that was probably my first mistake, but it got...
and are you taking ownership for that?
When I booked it, I was like... when I booked the time slot, I was like tired. I like my brain couldn't like function anymore properly, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what happened. But why it happened, why my brain was so, let's say fucked up, is because... So 1 a.m. I falling asleep. And then I hear my roommate scream, Louie! Louie! I'm like, what is happening? She must be bleeding. There must be an intruder.
And when you say bleeding, you don't mean like...
Not like period. No. Like she hurt herself, right? Why would you scream like that in the middle of the night? It
not
was
like a regular bleeding.
Something horrible had happened.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh my God, like what is happening? Like I'm ready to fight and like whatever.
And this is Friday the 13th, so it's
all of it. Yeah. It was just scary. Okay, it was scary. So I walk into her room and she's standing on a couch with her puppy eyes looking at me and saying like, "There's a mouse in my room."
Which is wild because you guys live in vetting and you wouldn't expect that in vetting. But it's a very nice apartment.
It's very nice. It's very clean. I don't think she had lived there because I think she climbed in through the balcony because it was a hot day.
So the bell.
The bell. And also like that day they turned on the heating.
I'm
Balk.
I'm Balk.
That day. Excuse me. They turned on the heating and why was the balcony open and then she was cold? Anyway, she turned it up to 5.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's the maximum.
That's the maximum. I'm talking about the radiator, right? Yeah. And she couldn't turn it off, so it got stuck. So when I walk into a sauna, first of all. Mm-hmm. I start sweating immediately. Mm-hmm. And then she's on there and she's like, ah! Obviously, of course, like the gay woman of the house has to take care of it because you know what? You know what? Straights, get it together. You can do it too. If you're not scared, Agnes, you could have done it yourself. Sorry, she will never see this.
I don't look. I'm on your side every time. I'm Team Louie through and through. However, from my experience growing up, it is nicer when you have like a strong lesbian come and take care of stuff for you. That's just my background is I'm comfortable with kind of a lesbian like getting in the driver's seat being like, we're going here.
No, totally.
I got this.
Totally.
Don't touch the radio. We're listening to Joni Mitchell and shut the fuck up.
No, I totally agree. But also like if I know like, oh, like she's sleeping, she has an early flight, like I'll take care of the mouse on my own. But I guess she was scared.
She was scared, and we'll give her some grace.
We'll give her some grace, and also like, and I've never watched it. Yeah,
that's because you're so young.
I know it exists.
Yeah. Anyway, so she calls you, and she's like, "Oh my God, Louie!
There's a mouse! There's a mouse!" Exactly like that. Spot on impression. That was exactly like that.
I do a lot of impressions.
And since in my previous apartment that I lived in, I had some experience with mice. Put it up there. There's a whole video on my Instagram.
Okay, it's up there.
So I kind of like knew that you have no choice right now but to get rid of this thing. She will not be sleeping ever. Agnes will never be sleeping. We need to get that thing out. So something happened to me that moment. It was something that happens to like mothers when their babies are under a car, right? The mothers, they can pick up the car and save their babies. So Agnes
whether
was
they're straight or gay.
Yeah. Yes. And in that moment, I think it happened to me, but in like a lesbian way, right? So I was like, okay, we're getting rid of this fucking mouse. So then we made barricades. We made like a path for the mouse to run, and then she ran out. I will say, I said this.
I like that you guys turned this into just like a children's sleepover. It sounds like you're like, let's make a fort. Like we're making a run for the mouse to... I'm sorry, you're right. This was a traumatizing experience.
It was a traumatizing experience. I had to go to bed because I
helped a damsel in distress, which was very noble of you. Yes. And I'm sorry for making light of that.
And I told this in 20 seconds, right? But it went on for 40 minutes. And like, I'm sweating. There's a lot of movement. Like the broom, like the mouse is running over my feet. It's disgusting.
The mouse ran on your foot?
This means a lot. You're welcome. I haven't had lunch. And then okay, we got the little mousey out. Thank you so much. Close the balk. And I was like, okay, this is done, but I can't
You can't just go to sleep after all this excitement.
That, and also like we need to fix the radiator. It's not stopping.
Degrees.
It was horrible, Pat. It's a sauna.
Okay.
And at first I was like, okay, I'll try this, but I don't know. I'm not a plumber. I don't know how to do this. So I try to turn it here and there, and I'm like, you have to call someone tomorrow, but then I'm like afraid that the pipes are gonna blow up, and like, what if we don't even make it to tomorrow? Like, I have a gay show tomorrow. I need to do that. So I was like, you know what? No.
And did you try? And I don't want to. But did you try just like turning it from 5 back down to 0? Because like 5 is the maximum sauna heat and 0 is like no heat. So if you like turn it 0 and just crack a window or something, maybe you could have.
Yes, I did try that.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't mention that you tried
and that was what was broken. Like, you could do this.
You could do this, but nothing was. You could tell nothing.
Yeah, and then I was scared to do like more work to it because it was like so hot, and like, what if I like get heat in my face? Like, I don't know radiators at all. But I was brave, and then I like pushed really hard, and then I squeezed, and then I turned, and I did that 10 times, and somehow I resetted it, and I fixed it.
So. All right, this is, talk about, and I hate to say it this way, but talk about lesbian stereotypes. You come in there with a cake, you're lesbiana, and you come in there and you're like, oh, there's an evil mouse here, and you're like, ka-cha, pow, ping, ching. And then the mouse is out. You slam the balcony door shut. And then she's like, but I'm dying of heat. Mm-hmm. And you're sweating. You're like the guy with the 2 buttons in the meme. We'll put it up there,
Yeah.
And you're worried it's going to explode in your face. It's like it's essentially a ticking time bomb.
It was.
And finally you just take your strong lesbian hand and you just shut it and you save the day. And the thing is that your flight is in now.
I need to get up in 2 hours.
You need to get up in 2 hours, which that initial wake time was already, in my mother's opinion, cutting it a little bit close.
So after my sauna experience, I obviously had to take a shower because I will not just go to bed like that. That was sweat fest, okay? Mm-hmm. So I took a shower, and then Agnes obviously is scared to sleep in her room because her bed is on the floor, and like, what if like another mouse crawls into her nose, So she slept in my room on the couch.
If that one mouse like calls his other mice friends, and
it for sure
found
happened.
A vulnerable target, and they came back with like knives and bricks and like.
I haven't stepped back into her room since then, so because I know it's dangerous in there. But she slept Agnes slept in my room, and then as I was about to fall asleep for my glorious 2-hour nap, Agnes starts snoring. And so what we can learn from okay. So that delayed everything for, let's say, now I'm going to sleep for an hour and a half, which is
not enough time.
Not enough time.
And also, can I just take a minute with
Absolutely.
I just want to say, if you're watching Agnes, first of all, you owe Lui money. You're directly responsible for this situation. You're not going to be able to restore the sleep that she lost, the mental health toll that you caused on her. But to me, it sounds like you're taking your friendly neighborhood lesbiana for granted. And that's fucked up. And I just want to speak truth to power and say that's not okay. And you need to apologize financially, in a written form and a verbal form, and possibly with a few hugs and maybe foot rubs.
And a meal.
And you need to cook your superhero, the one who saved your sauna apartment from exploding, the one who expelled the vile mouse from your room. Cook her a meal. Be a human being. Put a pot of water on the stove, boil it, throw pasta in there, chop up a few tomatoes, throw some balsamic in a frying pan, make a sauce, get a little bit of garlic, put the garlic in later so you don't burn the garlic. Mix that together, make something nice, have a salad on the side so there's something fresh with the salty warm pasta. God, get it together.
That was so beautiful. Thank you. And I got really hungry. Because I imagine, like the garlic and onion when you cook it, it smells so amazing. And if someone thinks otherwise, get out.
Yes.
Sorry
so
for yelling.
she screws you over. You wake up after an hour of sleep, and are you stressed at all when you wake up about missing the flight, or are you just like a cool cucumber, much like the tasty chopped cucumber that should be in the salad that she makes you, on the way to the airport?
I wasn't stressed yet because as I said, like usually I make it through very quick, right? So but the first problem started when I woke up. I mean, not the first, the 17th problem.
Mm-hmm.
Usually there's a car on my street or like very close. This time it was a few blocks away. So I had to find a scooter.
And you have luggage.
I just have a backpack, so that wasn't too bad. But I had to find a scooter to the car, get into the car. Then I get on the highway, on the Bahn. And I noticed that every time I go faster than 70, the car is vibrating. And I'm like, okay, like I might die, but I cannot miss this flight.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot miss this flight for the gays. I have to risk my life.
And spoiler alert, she missed the flight.
Fucking hell.
So the car, I've actually been in that situation in a rental car that like it can't go over a certain speed. Yeah, so you're it's like and you're just like fuck it.
I was like, okay, I could get off the Bahn and look for another car, but like that's like 20 minutes out the window. I cannot afford that because I will miss my flight.
And your security window.
And oh my God. And then so I was like, I committed to possibly hurting myself on my way to the airport for the gays. Mm-hmm. So I got to the airport. I was on time
and the days.
And the days and the thems and the ladies. So I got to the airport and I'm on actually at 6 a.m. I'm on time for my slot. And then I go to the special security section and there's a shit ton of people. There's more people than I've ever seen there be people.
For a 6 a.m. Saturday.
6 a.m. Saturday.
I would not have expected.
Well, me too. But it was more than usual. Like I've done that before. Stop. And I was like, okay, I'll stand a little bit and see how this goes. And then a lady comes and she's like, follow me. And like she takes a few of us.
Because how did she know? Like she's a she works with it. Okay. And are you like, hi, I have a time slot. And like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. There were several people like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, you guys are
you come
in
here.
danger of
come
missing
here.
your flight. Follow
me to the secret line. And then she took us to a line that like, she was like, okay, you guys keep walking because there's two like checker stations. Mm-hmm. And the one that we were in front, there was just one. I was like, okay, there's two.
Yeah, better. Two is better than one.
She fucked us over so bad. I will never forget that lady. If I ever see that lady again, I hope she misses all her flights. That's so mean. I hope she's okay. She was just doing her job, but she didn't do it well. So I was trying to squeeze through.
So you're trying to squeeze through, and at this point, are you starting to do the panic move? Which I have to say, when people do it, I don't respect it, but I also understand it. I have had to do it once or twice in my life, where you're like, I'm so sorry, my flight is in 20 minutes.
I did it for a little bit.
Uh-huh. Okay. And were people letting you, or were they?
Some were like German. Yeah, but I will say I could have done more in that department because I'm a very like socially anxious person.
Yeah. When it comes to like battling mice and radiators, you're a superhero. But when it comes to slightly inconveniencing someone,
absolutely
in the
not.
rock hard law of line, then no.
No. So then eventually I made it through, and I also did not make it to my flight. So then I went to the little station there to ask a lady, hey, what can I do? She's like, what are you flying? EasyJet. She's like, oh, very bad. So then she told me, you know what, you should just book another flight, and that's what I did for my last money.
Wait. So you make it through.
I make it through, and I see the famous sign, gate closed. The famous
sign, and do you have that photo somewhere?
Yeah, it's up
okay,
there.
We'll put it
up there.
And so you see that sign, and so you go to the EasyJet woman, or
No, there's just like an information desk right when you walk through.
I do like that she's like, "Oh, you're with EasyJet? Oh, you're fucked.
The
Just
first
purchase a whole new flight because good luck dealing with those assholes."
that's basically what she said. She at first I was like, I missed my flight, and she was like, oh, not good. And then she was like, what's the airline? EasyJet. Oh, not good.
She's like, maybe if it was Lufthansa,
Maybe
or
KLM.
KLM is okay, but
EasyJet, no, you will be waiting a long time for them to reply to your customer service inquiry at this hour. So I would rather suggest you just book a new flight. There's another one in 2 hours. Maybe check if there's still available seats.
And now, are you checking online, or are you going to the desk? Who's the new? Is it also EasyJet? What's the next?
It's EasyJet, and it's
So
2 hours
like,
later.
I like also that I feel like that's like the equivalent of like, and sorry for how dark this comparison is, but I feel like that's the equivalent of like if like a battered woman showed up at a shelter and then she's like, who's your husband? And then you're like, Dominic. And they're like, ooh, that's not good. And then they're like, what can I do? And she's like, your only option is to like go back to Dominic.
Go back to Dom. Well, you know what? It wasn't EasyJet's fault, you know.
It was the BER security's fault?
It was the...
Well, first of all, it was Abigail's fault. We can blame her for
Agnes.
Agnes. She's at the top of the blame. Okay, sorry.
It's
sorry,
funny.
Agnes.
It's a crazy name. Abigail.
Abigail.
That was the name of the mouse.
So we got Agnes is at the top of the pyramid of blame. And then the next row below that is, if we're being honest, if we're going to take some let's
just switch it
You
right
wanna put
away.
you-
It's me.
No, I want to stand up for you. I think Agnes is at the top. I think you're the next block below Agnes.
Mm-hmm.
Then below that, we have the BER airport and the BER airport security, including unnamed security woman who we wish misses all of her flights. Abigail, damn you. Except for she was probably like a Greta or Grunta or some. Anyways. And then below that, I would put EasyJet. And below that, I would put Bolt or whatever car service you use.
Share now.
And below that, and I hate to include them, the gays at the very bottom of the pyramid, because technically you wouldn't have even been in this whole situation if it weren't for the fact that you needed to go perform your hilarious comedy for them.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was. But after I missed my flight, I actually ran into my friend who was also there at the airport, so I had a great time. I wore her helmet, picture up there. We caught up a little bit, so I think it was actually like a blessing in disguise, you know, like that plane might have went down. Something could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think universe was taking control, and it was also a good lesson for me. I had never missed a flight before. So this was new. I learned a lot.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love a story that is not only interesting and enthralling, but has a lesson
Absolutely.
at the end. And I appreciate your self-reflection. May I ask, and you can totally say no, how much did the second flight put you back?
It wasn't too bad. It was 120 euros.
That's actually not too bad.
Yes. I was surprised and blessed.
You now had wiped out any chance of profits from the comedy show by about 160 euro.
No profit whatsoever. But as I said, you know, I'm a new comedian. I do it. For the love of the game, for the love of the gays, for the love of exposure. You know, that's why I do it. I'll do anything.
For the love of the game, for the love of the gays. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
I love that. It's a happy ending.
I made it there.
You made it, and how was the show?
The show was very fun. I made new friends. Hi, Izzy. Oh my God, if she watches this, it's amazing. I knew her from before, but we really bonded that day.
Yeah, and you even have a joke in your act about how much you love making new friends. So
God damn.
That's perfect for you. You love friends.
That's so great. You really find always a way back to my pain area. So you find a way back to my pain area that I like try to avoid actively. Now I'm actively avoiding my pain area. We're talking about dating here. My pain area.
Well, look, I, as someone who grew up around a lot of therapists, realize that if you have a pain area and you choose to just ignore that area and try to just go on without acknowledging what's happening really with you and yourself, you're never going to fully heal and find happiness and move on to something better. And so the comedic ways in which I bring you back to your pain area is really, for me, I consider a service that I'm giving to you for free, by the way. And I just hope for you that you're going to find some healing.
Are you promoting my show right now?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I saw the poster.
Sick, yeah.
The show's got to be way long over.
Yeah,
by
it's
the time
already
this comes
over
out,
probably.
But still fun that I did that, right?
It's up there, yeah. No, you're right, Pat. Actually, you're right. It's actually not that big of a pain area anymore because I spent these 2 weeks off work for mental health reasons.
Mental health reasons. Which we support.
We support that, really, and I actually feel a lot better. And I took some time to reflect. I also haven't been drinking for 15 days. This is alcohol free. For everyone wondering.
Show it to the camera. Put it out like close. Yep.
Alcohol free.
Yep. See.
Yeah.
Alcohol free.
And I feel my brain is clear. So
you're off the weed. You're off the booze.
Off everything.
And you're going for mental health walks.
Going for mental health walks.
Any jokes?
Writing jokes. Going
jokes?
to shows. I'm having a lot of good times right now.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot. Your turn?
Okay.
I think you're going to wrap my section up.
40 minutes into the pod. I think you could go ahead and put a bow on that.
What about you, Pat? What's new with you? Tell me about you. That's enough. Thank you. Just kidding. No, please tell me. Am I hogging the podcast?
You're not at all. You're the star of the podcast.
You are the star.
No,
we are. We are half star. You half star, and put together we are
a full star. And if you put us together, you know what, baby? Baby, I'm gay. So my headline is unknown comedian. Wait, sorry, I got. Unknown comedian's European tour takes detour to unexpected 4-person show in basement of Austrian bar.
How's tour going, Pat?
Thank you for asking. Wow. So my story is I'm
First of all, unknown, scratch that. This is Patrick motherfucking Moore. Okay? We know Pat. You, 5 people that are watching, we know Pat. Pat is destined for greatness. He is not unknown. He is known. No, you really need to change the way you talk about yourself so that we manifest greatness.
Well, I don't have a crystal in my ass, so I can't really do that right now. But
I saw you do this, so seems like something's up there. Just kidding.
Just a normal plain Jane butt plug.
Hey.
But you're right. But I mean, I say this also for comedic effect.
For clickbait.
No, it's more of a satire,
okay.
You know.
Then I apologize for ruining.
But no, first of all, thank you for the pep talk, and you're right. But I mean more of like, so there's I'll just quickly say this, you know, there's the game at, you know, our level of comedy, which is like, we're trying to gain social media people. We want people to listen to our podcast and come see our shows, and we're trying to get funnier and get better and make stuff that's cool. And I feel like there's a little bit of an element at the beginning where it's like you're kind of faking it till you make it a little bit. You know what I mean? It's and so like for example, I'm doing a whole tour this fall. I'm going to a bunch of different cities, and I did a tour announcement. But you're right, also to some level because of my own insecurity, I always like make a little bit of a joke out of it, because I'm like, any of the cities I'm going to, it's not like people are like, ooh, I'm going to see Pat. And that's, I think, part of the interest. I'm documenting the whole thing, and I'm like, that's, I think, what will be interesting about the journey is that it's like there's some successes and some failures. So I went to Austria last week. I did my show in Vienna. Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had like a better set in my life. I was like, it was incredible.
Fuck yeah.
Friendship. Fuck yeah.
I don't say this often, but I really like murdered. You know what I mean? Like, it was just
Yes!
The crowd was awesome. I have stickers for sale. A bunch of people bought stickers afterwards. It was
Bought stickers.
Yeah, I'm selling stickers after the show.
Sick.
Yes.
It was so good.
Exactly.
Fuck, man. Wow.
So
Good job.
I felt really good about it. I mean, it wasn't a huge crowd, but I was like, hey, first time in Austria, you know, it was like 20 people, and in the room it was perfect. And like the show, both the people who opened, I'll put their stuff up there, were super funny, really awesome. I got to meet some cool people over there. That show went awesome. And so I was in Austria for the whole week, right? I went on Monday. The guy who invited me to come, he was like, host my open mic on Monday. Tuesday, you'll do the show in Vienna. Wednesday, you could like do an open mic here. And then Thursday, we'll go to Graz and we'll do the show again. And he's like, last time I put up a show up there, we like sold it out and we had to add like a second show, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, great. Like, this will be perfect. Show up on Monday and he's like, I've only sold 2 tickets in Graz. And I'm like, And he was like, shit, I meant to tell you after you did the show.
Oh, God.
And I was like, And so the whole week, and I had sold 2 tickets on mine. So we had 4 tickets sold. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's see what happens this week. Maybe people will buy. Here in Berlin, people always buy like the last day or two. And I'm posting in my stories. I'm like desperately writing comedian. Like, Steph DePrez, very funny comedian. She used to live in Australia. Like, at some point, desperately wrote her like, "Do you have any friends in Graz? I've sold no tickets. Please tell them about my show." Anywho, and so then Thursday rolls around. My wonderful host, he goes to work, and I go check out the city for a little bit. And in my head, I'm like, we're not going to drive 2.5 hours or whatever to Graz to do a show for 4 people.
Or are we?
But I have to say, what I said to the guy, I was like, first of all, I knew he was like, you'll come, I'm going to, do the ads. I'll take care of the venues, the openers. We'll do this split, whatever. And I already knew, like, he had lost a lot of money on me. And he was also, like, he had an apartment that he was letting me stay at and whatever. And so I was like, whatever you want to do, I'll do. Like, normally, if it was just me, I'm not going to do a show for 4 people. That sounds like an absolute nightmare. Like, I mean, you tell the people.
Honestly, I would totally do it. It sounds like a lot of fun, actually. I love it when there's like 4 people in the audience, because you're like
For an hour.
Yeah, you're peeing in your diaper. Oh, maybe for an hour. I mean, I haven't done an hour show because I don't have that much material yet. But
But so I'm like. And so then that afternoon, and I'm like, hey, I'll go, like, I'll bark. Like, we have some flyers. I'll go out there. And I'm like, but we need to get there a little bit early, because, like, barking right before a show, I think, doesn't work. But if you bark, like, in the afternoon at 2 and you say, like, hey, tonight at 8, we have a show, you know. But he gets off work a bit late, and he's like, we're going to get there, like, 30 minutes before the show starts. And I'm like, okay, that's not good for the barking. And then I'm like, any more tickets sold? He's like, nope, still just 4.
Oh, God.
And I was like, I don't think we should go, but your call. And he's like, let's just go. Let's do it. And I'm like, fuck. We drive. Beautiful, beautiful sunset on the drive. I'll throw up a clip. We get there. We go down the room. It's like in this kind of like, for lack of a better description, like very dingy basement. He's brought this like giant spotlight. Oh. And then he just pulls 2 tables in front of the stage and puts 2 chairs at each table in front of the stage. And there's like an old like flat screen TV from like 2004 that's just like hung on the wall behind the stage. And the stage is like it's basically set up for like karaoke. And and also the mic cable was like this long. So you couldn't like walk, like you could only walk to like a certain point of the stage. And I'm like, this is fine. And so I go out, I'm trying to bark. I have a few people interested, but of course the thing about barking is it's like, it's very hard to find someone that's like, I have no plans right now at the moment. Let me drop everything and pay you money to go to a comedy show I know nothing about. So some people were interested, but no one wants to come. And then I'm outside. I try to flyer to a guy, and he's like, "Oh no, I have tickets." And I'm like, "Oh, great!" Like, I flyered to one of the 4 people coming to the show, and now he knows. And he was really sweet, and we had a nice chat. And I was like, "It's gonna be pretty intimate." He's like, "It's gonna be cool, you know."
Oh, sweet.
And I have to say, this guy actually, I won't say yet, but. And so my host, Roland, he's like, hey, I'm going to do a lap inside the bar and see if anybody from the bar wants to come to the show. And he comes back out, and he's like, I had a weird interaction. Like, there's one table who said they're interested, and then I went to another table. There was a couple, and I asked the girl, I was like, hey, are you interested in coming to an English comedy show? And she was like, yeah, I am. And then her boyfriend was like, no, we're not interested. Exactly.
Red flag.
Exactly.
Leave the boy.
Yes. So then I'm like, but have you found all the... And he's like, yeah, I found the 4 people with tickets. And then I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm going to go finish up setting up the room. I was like, I'll keep barking.
Set up what?
The 4 tables.
The 4 chairs are already there.
So... he comes back out and he's like, shit. So the people that I checked that I thought were the 4 people, I talked to one girl and one guy, and I assumed that they were each with a couple with 2 tickets, but they're the same couple. So now we actually only have 2 of the 4 tickets accounted for. And I'm like, we're not going to do a show for 2 people. And I was like, well, why don't you go do another lap of the bar and see if you can find the people.
Can I ask something? What are you feeling inside during this?
Death, decay. No, I mean, I'm trying to not outwardly show how much it's getting to me, the situation that I'm in, because I feel bad for this poor guy. He lost he put like 200 euros into ads. We sold 4 tickets. Oh no. I know the struggle of producing. So I'm like, I get it. This happens, but I'm also like, I'm going to have to go do an hour. And here's the other thing is like, and this is maybe what you get back to, the negative self-talk, but like so far, every time I've done my show, it's been on a scale out of 10, it's been at least like a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. I've never had like an absolute like bad show bomb for an hour, but I also know the nature of comedy, and I'm like, it's coming, like it's inevitable, and I'm just waiting. Like, when is it gonna be the one that's like, I look back with horror at like what a nightmare it was, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, this is it. Oh no. This is it. Am I going to do my act for 2 people for an act? Like, am I going to do the whole, and like the act, like the thing, like, am I going to, and so he comes back out, And he's like, so, good news, bad news. Good news is I found the other 2 ticket holders. Bad news is they were the weird couple where the guy was like, I don't want to go to the comedy show.
No. Why did he not want to go?
Well, apparently I talked to them later, and the thing was they went downstairs and they saw the 2 tables with the 4 chairs with the bright spotlight shining on the flat screen TV from 2004. And he was like, no fucking way am I doing, you know?
mean, fair.
Totally. Exactly. So, and then it probably didn't help to be like, oh, and now the promoters are like trying to get people from the, bar to come to the show. And so then get this, I swear to God. So he's like, yeah, it's that couple, and they're not sure if they want to join. And I'm like,
oh, God.
So we go in. I see the other couples going downstairs. Roland goes, and I just see the couple standing at the bar, and I'm like, I got to do it. I got to just take the last little bit of pride I have, put it on my tongue, let it dissolve, swallow real hard, and go up to them. And so I go up to them and I'm like, hey, it's me. I'm the show. Like, this is my show. And I was like, it's not an ideal situation that there's 4 people. This is not great. I totally get that. And you guys don't have to come. I will say, I think it could be fun. I think we could still have a good time. I think we could still have a fun night. What I'm pitching is, come downstairs, give me 10 minutes. And if you are like, this is as awkward and terrible as we thought it was going to be, you can get up and leave. You won't hurt my feelings. Just give it a shot.
Wow, Pat. Wow.
Which nothing feels better than convincing 50%
Begging.
of your begging.
Begging.
Yes, that's right. Thank you for the correction. It wasn't begging, or it wasn't convincing. It was begging.
Please. It's like, please.
Please come to my
Give me
comedy
just
show
10
that you
minutes.
paid 4 tickets for, paid €10 tickets for. Please come.
To sit with 2 more people in a dark basement. But there's a spotlight and an old TV. Wow, Pat,
I'll put a photo up there.
That is so brave, first of all, to be like, you know what? I'm dropping all of my ego right now, right? It was kind of like that. I'm dropping everything. They need to come to my show.
I need them at this. I need this couple who I already don't trust their relationship dynamics. I already feel like there's a potential. If there were 6 people and the 2 of them didn't want to come, I would say leave because I don't trust your energy. But because there's only 4 people,
you need them.
I need you here.
You need them.
So they come downstairs, and Louis, I swear to God, and I don't use these words lightly, the performance of a lifetime.
Wait, okay, elaborate. How did it go? Did you check in with them 10 minutes in and ask, are you going to stay or are you going to go? Do you think they felt sorry for you? Okay, just tell me. What happened?
So Roland does his quick hosting thing. I come on.
Oh, so you were 4 people.
Yeah. He's like, so where are you guys from?
Okay, I guess that's all the work we can do here.
And then he's like, and to bring on our headliner for we're going to do the applausometer.
No. Did you really?
He did.
Oh, no.
So,
this is 4 people.
And the 2 of them are like, the headliner begged us to be here tonight.
Begged us to watch 10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes.
Oh, God.
But so I go up there. I obviously I dress. I was like, look, this is a weird situation. There's only 4 of you. We're going to do this show a little bit like differently. Like this is a hang. I'm going to tell you guys some stories, some jokes, whatever. But like, if you guys have questions, if you guys want to talk about anything I say, just like throw it out there. We'll talk about it.
Cute.
We'll do it like, and then what I was going to say is the guy that I talked to outside that I tried to flyer into my show that had already bought tickets. He was like, he saved, like he was my Jesus that night. Like he was loud laugher, up for everything.
Aww.
Not letting the fact that it was a weird scenario into his head at all. And so he brought that energy, which then allowed me to feel comfortable. And then I have to say, like, I really got us all 4 together. And at some points too, I was like, I would tell a joke and then I would like explain the real, because it's like if you tell like a joke, it's like you've like put parts together. So then I'm like telling the real part of it, whatever. And then yes, at some point I was like, the one guy was so fun. I was like, by the way, I thought I really needed you guys, but I have this guy, so if you do want to leave, you can.
Aw, cute.
And they were like, no, we're gonna stay. And
do you know his name?
I don't know.
We call him Jesus of Graz.
Jesus of Graz. Hell of a cool guy. I told them all, hey, if you ever come to Berlin, I'll take you out on my boat. And then they were like, you have a boat? And then I was like, I have an inflatable boat.
I was going to ask.
It ended up being like one of the most magical nights of comedy. First of all, at some point I was like, oh shit, like we're at like 55 minutes. And I was like, I still have like a bunch of bits. And I was like, all right, let me read you my set list. You'll choose 2 of the 5, And then they were like, we want all 5. Like, do all 5. And so I ended up doing like 80 minutes. And it was like a breeze. And then at the end, at some point it became a running gag of the show where I was like, because I was talking about my mom's, obviously. And I was like, the only way we can end how weird and awesome this night was is like, you guys all have to come up here and we'll do a group hug.
Hell yeah.
At the end of the night. Like, we're just going to end it lesbian style, group hug on stage. And so we ended the show. They came up. We did a group hug. We took a photo together.
That's so
I gave them all
cute.
stickers. And I literally was like, if you ever come to Berlin, shoot me a message. You guys are on my like all-time guest list.
I love that. But you don't remember their names.
They followed me on Instagram, so if they hit me up.
Okay.
Actually, really, if anybody who just looked like a young 25-year-old Austrian person hit me up on Instagram and said you were at that show, I'd probably be like, oh, yeah.
Come on in. It's for free.
Nope. And at one point, the only other thing I remember that really got a big laugh that was a little riff is I was talking about it's so weird, right? And I was like, but the cool thing about it is, and I do think like this is the thing that you can kind of sell when you're begging half your audience to come to your show, is I was like, look, there's a very good chance that like, you'll never hear from me again, whatever. Nothing's gonna, maybe I'll just be kind of a low level comedian, or at some point I'll, become a hobbyist or something. And I was like, but there's a small chance that someday you're going to turn on Netflix.
Exactly.
And you'll see my face and you'll be like, holy shit, we saw that guy with 3 other people.
3 other people.
Graz.
Oh my God.
And that got a big laugh.
Hell yeah. Isn't it beautiful when you're like, you think you're going to die and then you don't, and then you have a really good time? I'm talking about shows specifically.
Yes, 100%. And I think there's an element, because I also then on Friday I did my show, and it wasn't my favorite, It wasn't bad, but it was just like I never really got
Connected.
in the groove, connected. And I went to a late show at the Wall, and everybody was kind of like, not like bombing, but it was just very quiet. There was like, 10, 12 people. And I was like, I do not want to go on stage right now. Fuck. I want to go home. Like, I've been in Austria all week. Then I just hosted my show, sprinted over here. And that was it was exactly what you said. Is like, I feel like sometimes when you're dreading it, it unlocks like another, like a fight or flight thing. And it's amazing.
It is. That's what happened to me Wednesday. I did a show that's called Anything But Stand-Up.
Check it out.
Check it out. We don't have the next date. But the whole day, because I was going to do improv with my friend from Latvia. And then Anshita and I were going to do sketches, which we just sat and riffed. We'd never tried them out before, like, showing up there. And that was what I was, like, super nervous about. But we showed up. Like, up until then, I was, like, anxious. Horrible day, thinking about everything that could go wrong. Thinking about not even the show, just other things. Horrible. And I show up to this place. I'm like, this is scary. Something's gonna go wrong. This could go really bad. But then we started the show, and the audience was so warm. They were so nice, so sweet, so on board with everything. And everyone was doing like something you don't really
weird and different.
Yeah. And they were so on board with it, and it was just so easy. Even our sketches I think they went well. They were so weird. And everyone was we were all a big family. It was such a beautiful time. And I was going home and I was like, comedy is so beautiful.
Comedy is so beautiful. And I think not to get up our own asses too much, and we do need to get to our headlines and wrap this bad boy up. Because, hey, baby, I'm gay. But I think that's one thing that people don't realize when they come to a comedy show is it's like, it's very unique to the art form, which is that it's like, you are like a real part of the show. Like, and I mean, I am a certified energy healer, so I can talk about these things, but like the energy. Wait, are you Are you a Reiki master?
Is that true, Pat?
It's like.
Was that a bit?
No, it's in my act, but my parents had me certified as an energy healer when I was 6 years old.
Is that okay? We'll unpack later.
That's got to be for another episode.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Sorry.
But the energy that the audience brings it's a literal part of the show. And like the way you are at the show, if you're really there to have fun and you're willing to like, and also laughter is a weird thing where it's like, you can like mentally like get yourself more, like if you go like, I'm going to try, like I want to be here and be more laughing, you'll start to have more fun. And the greatest example of that is there's like an exercise in like psychology or Buddhism or whatever, where if you do a fake laugh for a while, it will turn into a real laugh.
Yeah. And everyone else around you will start laughing.
But it's like, so you as an audience help create the show. And I always try to explain that to people when I host is I'm like, you're a part of this. You're not just watching it. Like you are helping create it. And sometimes that turns off cold Germans.
Yeah. I can see those Germans like, no. I came here, and your quest of the night is to get my arms uncrossed and me to sit up straight and do,
If I smirk 3 times, you'll know you've done a proficient job.
Exactly.
Jester. So should we do some? We're already at 1:07, so we gotta get to our headlines here.
Should I jump into mine?
Yeah, jump in. Tell me you're getting your camera. We haven't done Louis' Corner. Should we just? I have to pee. Do you want to do a quick Louis' Corner?
Do you actually have to pee?
I actually have to pee.
Okay. Oh my God, you guys. Welcome to... You're kidding. Oh my God. Jesus. Oh my God. Pat did a thing where he looked into the screen of the phone and as if it was like frozen again and not recording me, because you guys need this. You need the Louis Corner like I need Louis Corner. Is this actually just for me and not for anyone else? It is quite liberating, I will say. Just being in a room and saying my thoughts for you, to you. Anyway, I've been feeling really good lately. I feel like we're getting back on the train, you know? Like I was pushed off the train for a while there, and now I'm back in the train, and I have the seat 22A by the window, and I'm just chilling there watching Castaway by Tom Hanks.
And that's all the time we have for Louie's Corner this week. Thank you so much to Louie and all the Louie listeners out there. I hope it was a good corner for you.
I had a heart-to-heart.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to tell me your headline?
Absolutely, I do. So this one was I took a quick little search this morning. I will say for everyone's entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
This is the entertainment. So I'll just get right into it.
Get right into it.
Box of giraffe poo seized at airport after woman wanted to use it to make a necklace.
This is a really interesting story, and I'm glad that you brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, look, sometimes governments, regulatory bodies, just basically kind of the mainstream, they don't understand art. They don't understand fashion. And if you're one of our, what do we call them? Gays? No, gay.
Gaybies?
Gaybies. If you're a gaybie, if you have gaybies,
if you have gaybies?
because it sounds like scabies.
Disease?
Yeah, we're a disease.
You
we're
know
a
what?
highly contagious disease.
I'll take it.
If you've caught a case of the scabies, and you're a regular listener who's rated and reviewed and shared the podcast with a friend and reshared a clip in your Instagram stories, then you've got a case of the scabies. And if you're a gaybie, you're probably into fashion, you're into art, you have your finger on the pulse of, kind of the cutting edge. And we all know giraffe poop necklaces are the in thing.
Yes.
For 2024, possibly 2025. It is a bit of a supply chain issue because of the Germans and this airport security and these are really this is a real hot button issue in the fashion world because we want to use and source ethically found giraffe poop. But, these government bodies are basically kind of forcing us onto the black market. And that's not just because the giraffes are from Africa. I mean, just you get it. So
I didn't even go there.
Well, I did. But we they're forcing us onto the black market. We're having to get this kind of illegal giraffe poop that we don't know how well sourced this is. Is this ethical? Were these giraffes treated well? Was this poop it was stolen from people who already were going to use it for other things, so that's really, it's a terrible thing. And I thank you for bringing this story to light because there is not enough focus, on the hot new fashion trend that is really any wild game poop necklaces, because it's not just giraffes, it's all zebras, lions, rabbits. Poop necklaces are the future, and by the way, carbon neutral, so good for the planet. And this kind of for lack of a better term, draconian thinking by airport security and the governing bodies at large, I think it won't stand. And I do think people, if this doesn't turn around, people will go into the streets.
We will go into the streets.
And we'll be upset because you can't stop the rising tide of poop fashion.
You can't. And that would be a shame to stop it. It's there. It's out there. It's getting its wheels running.
Exactly.
You don't pop the tires of those wheels. You let the baby go.
You let the baby go.
You let the baby go. Let the baby roll.
Don't put a baby in a corner. Let him go.
No, let him go. Let him roll.
Well, should I give you my headline?
Yes.
All right.
I just wanted to mention that they took the poop away only because she didn't have a permit.
permitting.
You actually can bring poop into New York. She went from Kenya to New York. No, Minnesota. Sorry, Minnesota.
If she had gone to New York, they would have let her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No permits there.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and
yeah.
they get fashion in New York. You know, Minnesota. I mean, come
Minnesota.
on. All right. Eating world's hottest pepper was euphoric, says creator.
Now listen. I myself am not a big fan of spicy food. I do want to be a fan of spicy food, but my body just cannot handle it. Sometimes I get like hot flashes from just like eating paprika, But in this case, this beautiful influencer from Texas, he was like, you know what, California ghost pepper, I'm gonna do it. Because that is something new that no one has ever done. It was not a trend in 2015, and no one has done it before. And he wanted to access a new level, kind of. So he did that. He set up the camera, kind of like we have done here, right, Gabies? Whoop whoop.
Gabies. Catch it.
You gotta catch them all. Pokemon. And you know what? This man, call him Ezekiel, because that's his name. He was ready to face it. He was brave, just like you were when you were asking those people to stay for 10 minutes at your show. I'm proud of you. That was beautiful. Anyway, so he bites in this spicy pepper, and as you know, it's spicy, extremely spicy. I would probably die. Has anyone ever died eating that pepper? I would imagine so. Like my organs would just be like, you know what? I'm out. I'm out. Anyway, but it didn't happen to him. He actually entered a state of being. So his brain went into theta state. You know that?
I've heard of theta state.
Yeah,
it's
like
the
right
hottest
before,
new state. And
yes,
yeah.
Right before you fall asleep,
Right
you're
before
in theta state.
yes,
You can
exactly.
reprogram your subconscious
Everybody's talking
mind.
about theta.
Yeah. You can also access it under certain drugs. So
not that we do those.
No,
or condone
we
the
are
use of
out.
those. We're out of the game.
No. And it kind of happened to him. He tapped into this beautiful world, right? It was he said because he had done ayahuasca before. He said,
of course,
it was exactly
ayahuasca is the gateway drug to peppers.
Exactly, and it happened to him, and it unlocked a new sort of life for him. He actually quit influencing after this.
Wow,
and
powerful.
He started peppering. Because he was like, you have to try this. And now he's going around the town, Texas town, and just throwing peppers in dishes at restaurants. But he's very
traded in
controversial.
influence for peppers.
Yeah. He's sort of went into like, he's for the people now.
But you said he's controversial?
Did I?
You said he's a bit controversial. I didn't know, like, are there people who are kind of like anti-pepper who feel like what he's doing is crossing a line?
It's more of like
factions within the pepper community?
No, it's more of like he's being very much into people's faces. Like sometimes like vegans do that. You're like, this is so much better.
Yeah.
He's kind of taken this approach, which like I agree with it fully. There's maybe a better approach.
Agreed.
But that's what he's doing now, and he's actually like collected a big community now behind him, and now everyone in Texas town is just in a euphoric state, and I think it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Wow.
Well, baby.
Hey.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
We're gay.
We're gay. Yeah.
Okay, but my parents are gay.
Your parents are gay.
Okay,
that's why it's okay to say that. Number 4, huh?
Number 4 in the books. The camera worked this time.
I hope
yours
mine.
did.
Oh.
If you're watching, if you made it to this point of the podcast, first of all, congratulations.
Wow.
Here's a photo of my dog. You made it. Second of all, as we already said, please tell some friends about the podcast.
Tell them, like that would be just so sweet if you told them. They're like, oh, there's this new podcast. And if your friend is gay, They're gonna be like, "Hey, baby, I'm gay. Look, baby, you're gay.
Exactly.
Check it out."
The best kind of mouth is word of mouth, and we want to blow this podcast up so we could do some live apps, sell some merch. You know, T-shirt says "Hey, baby" on the back. It says "I'm gay." You know,
I want merch.
So maybe some T-shirts that just say Louie's Corner. You know, I don't know, with like a little corner or something. I'm just spitballing here, but if you're a merch person, let us know.
Merch person. I'm talking to you.
But yeah, leave a review, comment, like if you're on YouTube. Comment, like if you're listening somewhere else. Rate, review, share.
And tell us how you're
and
doing.
I'm not saying share like the musical artist. I mean like share, like sharing is caring. Share it with a friend. Send a link.
Believe
in love after love.
What am I supposed to do? Sit around and wait for you, and I can't do that. There's no document. My friend Leah does a really good impression of Cher. Shout out to Leah.
Shout out to Leah. All right. Well, this was
good. I had fun. Did you have fun?
I had fun.
Bye.
Bye.